Next, let's talk about skills, because this is where OpenClaw typically gets more powerful. A skill is basically a set of instructions that tells your AI exactly what to do. Instead of saying, go find news, you can create a skill that searches specific websites, filters out junk, and summarizes the best information and sends it to you on Telegram. The key thing beginners need to understand is the more specific your skill is, the better your outcome will be. If your instructions are too vague, then you're gonna get vague results. So just remember, skills are things that OpenClaw can do on its own without you having to intervene. You can ask OpenClaw to create their own skills, or you can download them from ClawHub. Now, I've seen many tutorials on the internet where they talk about ClawHub, but they get everything wrong. ClawHub is a website that has a list of available skills, but what they don't tell you is a majority of these skills have malware. Remember, OpenClaw is open source, so anyone can submit these tools. I've seen cases where users download skills and it exposes all of their banking credentials and crypto website credentials. So I don't want to scare you too much, but just make sure that you get your skills from a reliable developer. Now I'll be showing you how to implement 3 skills in this video. The first skill is a morning brief. This is where your AI checks your emails and calendar and sends you a clean summary every day, so you don't have to go digging through everything yourself. Second, I'll be showing you how to build a niche research bot, and this is where things start getting really powerful. Your AI will go out, search the internet, find important updates in your niche, filter out all the junk, and send you only what matters. And for number 3, I'll show you how to create a more advanced example. This is called a price tracker. This one actually stores data over time, compares it, and only notifies you when there's real opportunity. So it's not just giving you information, it's making decisions based off patterns. So with that in mind, let me show you how to utilize skills for OpenClaw. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Now let's implement skills with OpenClaw. So for the first skill, I want to run a daily summary. I want OpenClaw to go through my email right here, and I want them to find invoices or things I paid for, because sometimes, let's be honest, we may have subscriptions to some websites and we might leave those running too long and then we're paying for them. So I want it to actually notify me of upcoming invoices, of receipts, or anytime I paid for an application so I can cancel the services. And I think this is a very common thing with most people where we have applications that we subscribe to we forget about, right? So let's go ahead and run this prompt. Create a skill called Morning Brief that runs daily at 7 a.m. via cron. Now what I'm doing here is I'm creating a skill and I'm also implementing a cron job. Check my Gmail for unread overnight emails using Matin API. Flag anything urgent subject with, here I'll go ahead and change this, with invoice, okay? And I'll change this to receipt. So pull my Google Calendar events for today and tomorrow via Matin API. Send me a Telegram summary, urgent emails first with sender and subject, then today's schedule, then tomorrow's preview in a very organized structure. Now this is running several things. So we're creating a skill, running cron jobs, and essentially we're gonna get notified via Google Calendar. So it's simultaneously doing different things. So let's go ahead and run this prompt. So now it's asking us to confirm a few things, and this may happen when running skills. It's asking us to confirm the time zone. I'm gonna change it to GMT +7 because I'm in Thailand, so GMT +7. So I went ahead and I put GMT +7 time zone is the correct time zone, and also yes, Matin connections are fully connected. You verified them earlier. I do like to remind OpenClaw about things because then it starts to self-check its history. And just like that, we've now implemented a skill that runs every day at 7 a.m. Now we do need to confirm a few things, and also some of you might have gotten into errors. I understand that. So let me show you the debugging methods. So now I want to see if the skill was actually created. So I put check the skill exists, ask the agent, list all skills. We should see the morning brief in the list with a check mark. Let's go ahead and run this prompt. So here is a list of all the skills that come with OpenClaw. Now these were obviously built in, so these don't really apply to us. Now we're gonna scroll down, and right here under custom skills, you'll now see that we have the morning brief active with a cron job running at 7 o'clock. So that's how we implemented this skill, and that's how you can always confirm if skills were implemented. Next, I wanna double check because sometimes they say things are there and they're really not. So I'm gonna run a second command. Show me the contents of the morning brief skill MD. And here we go. So now we have the description, we have the morning brief, required environmental variables. You'll see that the Matin API has been connected. We have the script running, and overall, this looks very correct. And here we have the cron setup. I'll click on the JSON lines, and we just want to make sure that 07 is there. Now, OpenClaw has a very strange way of running crons. I'll talk more about this a little bit later in the video. So I'll go ahead and close this. And here are my urgency keywords, invoice. And here are my urgency keywords, invoice, receipt, subscription, refund. And scrolling down, you'll see if we can make any changes to it. Now, I don't want to do that. I just want to confirm the skill was created. So since the skill was created, we now need to triple check the cron. So just to make sure everything worked properly. Over here, I'll click on cron jobs. And right away, you'll see that this cron job was now created. So it was enabled, and here is the morning brief cron job. So every day running at 7 a.m. This is how you can always confirm if a cron job was created or not. And in my case, it did create, thank God, because there has been a lot of instances where OpenClaw does get very glitchy and you have to constantly be reminded to create the cron job. Let's go back to chat. Now here's some documentation for all of you. So let's say, for example, you run that prompt and things didn't work out. Maybe it did not connect to Matson or Telegram or emails come back empty. All you need to do is go ahead and run these prompts for any one of these problems, and this should generally fix it. A lot of the times OpenClaw forgets. It's a very forgetful machine. Trust me, I know that sounds weird, but it does forget things sometimes. I've learned that slowly. So these are some prompts that you can run just in case something went wrong. Now let's go ahead and test it. So right here, I wanna run the morning brief skill right now. So I'm gonna copy this and go back to OpenClaw. So let's now run this. Here I'm gonna go ahead and paste this, and I wanna run the morning brief skill right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and check my Telegram. Okay, so the first time I ran this, I got incorrect information. So you'll see right here that all it did was just send me all these unknown subjects. Now I'll show you how to fix this. Now, I want to be transparent with everybody watching this video. When you first run a skill, you're rarely going to get everything to work on the first try. It's going to take you several times in order to correct and fix the actual AI. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did to give you an idea of how to fix things. So here I put, I'm only getting from unknown subject. I want you to scan the emails, find receipts in the skills. Please double check the skill and run it again. And what they did here was they actually updated it a little bit more. They fixed it, but this time they sent me unread emails from Google. So I had to correct it one more time because at this point, at least it's acknowledging the sender, right? Which is good. So the next command I ran was, you only send Google account warnings. I want to see invoices and payments from companies that I may have overlooked. Please check again. I want to see invoices and receipts in my Telegram. And then you'll see it ran this specific prompt right here. And what it did was it broadened its search. So it expanded the keywords to invoice, receipt, subscriptions, refund, payment, billing, and all these other things. So at this point, it's sort of learning as they go, right? And then you're gonna see at the bottom, they are starting to actually flag warnings about credits, bills, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to Telegram. So going back to Telegram, here we have the first attempt, and then here we have the second attempt. However, on the third attempt, it finally worked. So now it's basically talking about invoices and payments, and this is actually an AI tool that I use, and you'll see that we're running low on credits for this specific tool. And we can double check this by looking at the email. So going back to our Gmail, right here under Hagen, you're going to see that we're running low on credits. This essentially has to do with money and subscription. So it's notifying me about things I'm gonna have to pay for. Now over here, you'll see that we also got another warning from Hagen. Now I could have actually made this go back like the last 7 days, but it only ran it for today, which was this date right here, which was 20 hours ago. So it's only running today. So if you want this to actually scan past emails, you can just tell the actual AI to do that. But I just want daily reminders about things I might have to pay for before I pay for it. So congratulations, we have successfully implemented a skill that works 100% correctly.